We would like a discussion in this country about the fact that medical cannabis has been legal for 6 years. Nobody knows it. The general public remains completely ignorant of it. Every medical cannabis patient that enters the system is one step closer to what will eventually be a regulated, controlled, legal recreational market in this country. Maybe it's going to take 10 or 15 years, but it eventually will come. There's too much money. The cost of prohibition is too high. And the toxicology of that product is far below many other legal substances.
I think there remains a suspicion of, there remains a confusion in the general public between issues related to medicinal cannabis and issues related to recreational cannabis, and often these become tangled up. I also think that the NHS does not welcome cannabis medicines in the future for a whole set of reasons, and for that, and I think for understanding that context explains why MPs and governments don't see votes in the cannabis issue.
Ja, ik ben op Cannabis Europa, dus een van de grootste conferences voor medical cannabis in Europa.
And that's what I see that cannabis can do in helping manage your pain, your mental health, your sleeping disorders, your PTSD. Sometimes, very many cases, it's combinations. Because if you're in pain, you don't sleep very well. So you get sleeping disorders. If you don't sleep, you start worrying. If you worry, you get anxiety. So it's not like it's a snake oil that treats everything. But once you start treating one or two of those things, the others also improve.
I'm very amazed that you can still read. I will ask you to write it out. But you can read it yourself?
Difference than America, here in Europe, we are bounded by the treaties by European law. And I think this is what's keeping us behind and which is also blocking the recreational cannabis legalization. In Dutch we say, een tevreden roker is geen onruststoker. Somebody's happy to smoke is not making a mess. And that's different with alcohol.
Did you read that one? They were just getting started. There was just like 3 of us. Or like 4. A second. Yeah, I felt bad about that article too.
Having sativas as part of that option, unfortunately.
Europe seems to be taking a much slower and careful approach, whereas the US, I think, could be characterized as much more of a market-based approach. So we have 40 programs in the US in different ways, shapes, and forms, whereas I think in Europe, it's just going a little bit more carefully, like in the Netherlands, in Denmark, and in Switzerland. that higher rating is often what sells. It's almost like kids when they start buying alcohol when they're young, they try and get whatever is going to give them the best buzz. That same behavior is happening in some cannabis markets, and certainly in some of the hemp-derived THC products that are really popular in the US. I was talking to a gentleman today who said he saw a product that had 1,000 milligrams of THC, which is, I can't even wrap my head around that. So